Companies do not actually care about their customers or even their employees. They simply care about their bottom line, which, hey, I don't necessarily blame them for caring about making money. That should be the focus of a company. But oftentimes they virtue signal, thinking it's going to make them a few extra bucks, and that tactic hasn't worked. And so over the past few months, we have seen a lot of companies dropping terminology like DEI, which, hey, I don't think it's completely going away. And now Take-Two is the next on the list. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community and my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, this is just one of the many companies that has dropped their commitments to DEI, but let's keep it a buck. They're not actually getting rid of these programs. They're just changing the wording as Marxists do. So, this says Take-Two's recently filed annual report removes all references to support of DEI, drops prior boasts about awards it got for supporting LGBT workers, and omits prior mentions of work to diversify the talent pool with scholarships, which of course I think is hilarious because there is not a day I have ever said this company actually cares about their customers. Doesn't matter what company I'm talking about, because I can recognize that all they really care about is their bottom line. There are a lot of people out there, though, who do not understand that. Even look at BioWare employees. Those activists were furious that, oh, after Dragon Age of Veilguard came out, they didn't get any more support, and it's like BioWare didn't actually care about them. Yeah, newsflash, companies don't care. It says, though, Grand Theft Auto, NBA 2K, and Borderlands publisher Take-Two Interactive has deleted references to diversity and inclusion from its annual report to investors this year, and a list of employment awards it boasts about each year no longer includes 2 accolades it was granted for its support of LGBTQ employees. It says the changes resemble the disappearance of diversity language from the most recent annual reports for some of America's biggest corporations, including Disney, Google, GM, and Intel. Those firms deleted or softened their DEI language from their big corporate filings, according to a report from NPR in February. And this is the wording: softened their DEI language. While some companies are publicly stepping away from terms like DEI, it would be naive to assume this signals a total abandonment of these underlying initiatives. They're removing obvious terms like DEI that people latch onto and see and instantly question, but they're just renaming these divisions and not getting rid of them entirely. I know that there are a lot of people out there who actually believe that, oh my gosh, they're changing. These companies don't actually change. They simply rename things and reword things. It's like a cosmetic shift aimed towards the public so that they can avoid backlash while continuing to implement similar policies under less controversial language. Marxists just regroup and rename, and even when you think they're gone, they're not. These companies don't care about the people that they're hiring or their customers. They don't care about your sexual preference. They don't care about your identity. They simply care about making money. And hey, I don't blame a company for wanting to make money, but they should have never tried this BS in the first place. Chasing DEI wasn't genuine then, and it isn't genuine now. They go where the money does based on trends and social directions, and that's it. And it's like there are people within this industry and many industries who go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that Disney is abandoning this, or Google's abandoning this, or Take-Two is abandoning this. I can believe it because they would do it in a heartbeat if you told them it would make them more money. That's the only reason why they implemented DEI programs, and all of these DEI awards were plastered on their website in the first place. Now, of course, these companies are not going to completely get rid of these divisions. If in 4 years the administration changes, they want to be able to implement these things back into their company with the snap of their fingers. So they're not going to demolish these programs, just maybe fire 50% of the people that work for them and then rename it and basically let it fly under the radar, similar to what Sweet Baby Inc. wanted to do. But you can't trust companies, and you can't believe that they're actually changing until they prove it. So just because their wording is shifting doesn't mean that they are. And you always have to stay cautiously optimistic. Like Take-Two has a lot of amazing games under their belt. Borderlands 4 comes out in a couple of months. GTA 6 has been delayed, but there's so much hype surrounding that. And I'm sure that when these games come out, they're going to be successful for Take-Two. That's all that companies care about. That's all that they really care about. And there are a lot of people saying that this is great. And I do agree to a certain extent that it is good to see them shift the wording. But the problem is that ultimately, unless they continue to deliver good products and they prove that they're not just going to go back to this if it seems like it's going to be profitable, then you can only trust them so much. And Steven even points out the change in their language. In 2024, Take-Two said, "We firmly believe that diverse teams are more valuable and effective, and that diversity is key to our success." And in 2025, they've stated, "We firmly believe that diversity of thought drives the innovation that is integral to our success," which I think is the right path for them. I do think that you need to have all different types of people working at your company, but it doesn't have to do just with their skin color or their gender or their sexuality. It has to do with their mindset, their thought process, the things that they believe a game needs or doesn't need, things that they've noticed that could add to an experience. Like, you have to have people who understand this industry and who all think differently so that they can come together and create a product for everyone. You can't make a product for everyone when only one type of person is making a game. That's just my experience judging recent AAA titles like Dragon Age of Veilguard, and also games like Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, even Concord. They all had yes men in the room, the toxic positivity, and that didn't turn out well for them. GTA 6 is a huge undertaking of effort, resources, and budget. They can't risk it being impacted at all, especially now that the industry has been struggling. I also agree with this. I think that they have put so much money towards GTA 6. Word on the street is they've spent $1 billion, which of course is absolutely insane, but they need it to make as much money as possible. And so they need to get as many people interested in their products as possible. Maybe they've realized that the sensitive snowflakes that they've been pandering to for years aren't actually going to purchase their products, so they have to kind of take a step back. But at the same time, there are people going, "Oh, boo-hoo, this doesn't really matter." There's a reason why the woke era of gaming has been the worst era of gaming. There's no game overtaken by wokeness and has been able to be a commercial success. Best news of the year. DEI is a great way to start to diversify. I've always said this. I think that diversity, when done naturally, is great. I think that it is amazing that so many different people can get so many different opportunities within this industry. The problem is when a company just goes, "Oh, hey, we have a checklist. Let's check off as many boxes as possible. Let's hire these types of people so that we can look good." It's all about their public perception. And, well, terms like DEI aren't working. These DEI programs are not making them more money. And they're saying to themselves, "Okay, it's time to shift the business." Major corporation sways with public opinion. Shocker. None of them care about any issue outside of aligning themselves with whatever they think will boost stock prices. And I totally agree with this. Attention-seeking liars. We would get normal characters if they would drop it. It is just a form of an ad for them to get players, but they forgot that people have eyes. It's time you learn corporations only have one interest, their bottom line. I almost feel bad for the people who are so delusional that think that companies actually care about like them as human beings and people and like their sexualities and their identities, because these companies do not care. And I don't necessarily blame them. They should be focused on making money. And that means that they should be making great products and hiring people who are actually talented. We need to go back to merit-based hiring. And I hope that this could point to a shift within the industry and a shift when it comes to the people making games, but only time will tell. Though for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.